Hey guys, so we were just we were doing a bunch of leg lock defenses again, but at the end of class we were practicing this Shultz choke again. So one really important detail here is that when you put your head, right, or where you put your head on the body to create this arm triangle slash head and arm choke, is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push his shoulder into his neck like this, okay? So when, or I'm trying to pull his neck into his shoulder, right? But I need to create pressure here in the back of the shoulder. So when I put my head, right, just like any arm triangle or even leg triangle, right? I want the pressure to be here on the back of the shoulder. I don't want it to be underneath the armpit, right, or in his ribs. I don't want it to be down here at the elbow. Neither of those places are going to be as efficient. I'm not saying that you can't finish it, right? Actually, you know, Dave Shultz, when he was doing this choke, or a lot of people that I've seen demonstrate this choke, they do talk about sticking the head like way down here in the armpit. That's good from a wrestling standpoint, because in wrestling, right, you can't choke people out. It's illegal. So the point in wrestling for this technique a lot of times was what the Shultz brothers would do is they kind of like make people start to get nice and woozy, and then they'd use it to like turn them and pin them. And again, like Mark Shultz went a little bit too far in the Olympics, choked a guy out and got disqualified. But that's kind of the idea. So in wrestling, right, I'm really worried about beating this arm, because this arm here can keep me from coming around behind Chris. So if I can, right, and a lot of times I use more of a gable loop. So if I can stick my head in the armpit, this makes it easy for me to start to get this angle, right, and start to access his legs and start to hit takedowns and stuff. But in our context, we don't care as much about that. Like, we can choke the person out, right? So I want my head against his shoulder, okay? So again, I like to switch it from this to this, because you guys can see that, like, as you turn your palm down, your elbow naturally tends to want to kick up higher. Okay, so as my thumb turns out, my elbow comes in. As my palm turns away, my thumb turns away, my elbow kicks out. So this, right, allows my elbow to be up higher. So flip in at 180 degrees, right? If I'm like this, so I'm grabbing it like this, Chris can grab my elbow and he can pull it down, and then he can grab it with the other hand, and now we can create that space, and he can really not only just stall me out where I can't finish the choke, but there's actually potentially like a shoulder lock off of that if he knows what he's doing. So, but this time, if I switch to this grip, and I'm not going to put the choke on just so he doesn't go out, right? Now he just tries to grab it. Can't really grab it, right? No. It's really hard to grab it. So just that little detail of turning my palm this way makes it really hard for him to grab that elbow and pull it down, okay? So we'll spin back around one more time. So that's why I changed the grip like that, right? So I'm trying to make contact with the one carotid with the back of this wrist like this, okay? Then the second contact is the back of his shoulder. It's right here, right? So here I can get the choke with very little effort. If I go deep in the head, I can get it, but I'm putting more muscle into the choke, right? And he should feel like, as I'm doing it, like it's not coming on as fast. It doesn't feel as tight. It doesn't feel like the pressure is really going in the right place in his neck, okay? Even worse, if I'm like way back here, like I've seen people teach it where they put the head like at the hip. That requires a lot of strength. Now I have to try to lift the guy up and really squeeze it. Way, way, way more inefficient, okay? I want to put that head right on the back of the shoulder when I'm going to do that arm triangle. It's an arm triangle. It's a version of an arm triangle, right? Even same thing with a regular arm triangle too, all right? So Hopefully that helps clarify that point.